Welcome to the Marvelous Moms Club podcast, where you'll be not only allowed, but encouraged to dream big dreams and imagine the very best future for yourself and your family. Throw away expectations and perfection and embrace the messy beauty of what it means to be a marvelous mom. I'm your host, Kirsten Tyrell, and I can't wait to help you discover what makes you marvelous. Hey everybody, welcome to today's episode. It's going to be a good one because they all are, because we only have the best here on Marvelous Moms Club. I'm talking with Allison Carter today, and what I love about her, I was just telling her this, is I'm her target market. I'm her demographic. I'm the people she's trying to save from the deep, dark underbelly of Pinterest parties and people who are super overwhelmed by reality and how we can make really fun things happen, because she has created it's Allison Carter Celebrates, and she really helps cut the overwhelm of the party planning aspect of being a mom and creating memories and keeping those moments there and having special occasions without it feeling like it's the end of the world, which honestly, my daughter's birthday is in 4 days. And have I planned her party? No, but 9 months ago, I decided I wanted to do a fancy Nancy party. It hasn't come to fruition. So this is like therapy to sit in on. She's going to help me. She's going to tell you guys how she can help you as well. So thank you for being here, Allison. Welcome to the Marvelous Moms podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. And you're in luck because I have a Fancy Nancy party plan. So it is
Stop
yours.
it.
And it will come, yes, Fancy Nancy to the rescue. I've got you.
Fancy Nancy, ooh la la. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Thank you. Okay, so let's give everybody a little bit of background first with your mommy life. Tell us about your kids and what like your home life is like right now.
Sure. My name's Allison Carter, and I'm a Seattle mom of two little ones. My daughter Evie is 5 and Hudson is 2.
Awesome.
And they just keep me busy always. I'm married to my high school sweetheart, Ryan. And we live a pretty normal life. You know, we're always playing defense and managing everybody. We have a toddler that likes to hurt himself constantly. So dealt with 2 broken legs in 2 years and
oh my gosh,
egg on his head. So, you know, he keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Oh yeah. Well, so when I'm not, doing that and keeping him in a padded cell, I am rocking the nap time hustle and building a business helping moms connect with their families through simple celebrations.
I love it so much. So have you always kind of had that desire to hustle and do something in your life? What were you kind of like before stepping into motherhood? Did you work in like corporate? Did you run your own business then? How long ago did that start, and kind of what led you into creating Allison Carter Celebrates?
Yeah, well, totally fell into my lap. In zero part of me wanted to be an entrepreneur. My parents are entrepreneurs and have been my mom has just done so many businesses and she's a huge part of my story. But no, that's the short answer. That's a hard life. It's unpredictable, but the freedom is great. But I saw a lot of struggles with being an entrepreneur, and I never had a desire to start my own business. I was a teacher. I taught 2nd grade for years, and I loved being a teacher. I'd wanted to be a teacher since I was in 1st grade, and that never changed. And then I had my daughter, and then she became more important than, frankly, the other kids that I was spending all my time with.
Yeah.
And I couldn't see myself going back. I just wanted to be with her. And we were fortunate enough to be able to, financially do that and make that work. And so I stayed at home with her, and I did the stay-at-home mom thing and, really loved it. And I was the play date mom and the party mom. And that part has always, ever since I was little, I was creating parties for my dolls and my stuffed animals and get together, all this stuff. And that my mom is a huge part of that. She's basically the OG when it comes to celebrations and making memories. And so that was just a natural part of me. And then I was having a conversation with my girlfriends who were all my mom friends, and they're basically the ones who saved me from falling into a ditch every single day. They are like lifeline to the outside world. And we were talking about first birthday parties. And at this point I had my son. So I had a 3-year-old and a 6-month-old. And my one friend is a working mom, full-time working mom. And she was like, I just can't do it. I
Mhm.
can't even visualize the party. I don't even know how I'm going to have the time to do it, but I need to do it. It's her first birthday. I can't not do it, and all of this stuff. And I just said, well, let me do it. Because at that point in my life, I had nothing for myself. I clawed my way to nap time so I could catch up with the housewives
Yeah.
and eat, the first meal by myself for the day. And so I was like chomping at the bit to get into something creative and plan her party. I mean, I loved it. I dove right in. I opened a Google Slides doc. I threw some ideas on the slides. I added some links because for me, the most annoying part of planning a party, a Pinterest party, I'll say, is that you click a picture, you go to a beautiful blog, and they don't tell you where they bought the things or how they did it. So
Yes.
it drives me crazy because I can open Pinterest and find a picture of a party. That
Right.
doesn't take any time. But finding all of the stuff and the ideas on how to put it all together, that's what takes the time.
Yeah.
And that's actually my favorite part, that I love the hunt.
Mm.
And so I just did that for her. I added some links to some of the decor that I found to that Google Slides doc, and I just emailed it to her. And she was like, "What is this? Like, are you kidding? It's all done for me." Like, I opened it, I immediately envisioned what it was going to look like. All I have to do is click, and the things are in my Amazon cart. You're amazing. And that was the first official party plan I ever created, and basically by accident.
Wow.
And then I kind of took it to the rest of the girls and was like, is this something that you guys would like? They're not a party planning crowd. I'm kind of the black sheep of the group, me and one other girlfriend of mine who I collab with a lot. But, everyone else is like, oh, parties are the worst.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we would totally want somebody to do it for us. It's basically outsourcing groceries, but outsourcing party plans
Yeah.
or party planning.
Oh my
And so I
gosh.
was like, I guess I'll build a business. And I guess my nap time just turned into something else. And I mean, I've got to tell you, I have never been more fulfilled. I've never been happier. I've never been a better mom, better partner, because I found something that fully makes me shine and gives me something for myself.
Mhm.
So then I can pour in, I have that energy to pour into them, at the end throughout the day as well. When I'm around them, they're home from school and different things like that. So it's been amazing. It was the best conversation I ever had. I always say that one conversation completely changed my life. And now I get to help so many moms while doing something that I absolutely love. So it's just the best.
Oh my gosh. Well, isn't that how any good business is born? Like, it's funny how you resisted that entrepreneurial thing, but it's basically was just kind of in your DNA and there's no escaping it forever.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I really always thought I would go back to teaching. When my kids went to school, I would go back also. And I love teaching. And there's still a lot of stuff that I miss about it. But I mean, now I can't even imagine
Yeah.
working with somebody else and working on a schedule that's not flexible. Um, and yeah, I'm teaching it, but just to a different audience and in a different way.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that. And here's
Mhm.
the thing that a lot of women or moms will fail to recognize is just because you're really good at something. Like let's say you're a really good teacher and you felt inclined, you got a degree, you became a teacher, right? And you
Mhm.
decide not to teach. That does not mean that you weren't given those gifts and talents still for a reason. There's a creativity that you came with that inspired you, that there's something you probably learned along that path of becoming a school teacher that created your ability to build something like this that's completely, I mean, not completely different. It's still kind of in the same arena of, children are involved, but I love that that doesn't people want to get so definitive. They want to be like, okay, well, I'm good at XYZ, so I have to do, or I'm good at ABC, so I have to do XYZ. When it's not that way. It's like, get a little bit intuitive and creative with the skill set that you've been blessed with. What else can you do with it? It's kind of like taking a pile of clay and being like, I could shape the traditional thing. I could make the ashtray or whatever the kids always make, or I can make something totally different with it, but it doesn't change the fact that it's still the same clay. It just can be molded into so many different things. So I actually
Yeah.
really, really love that and a lot of people do this. And also, a lot of people don't. They don't realize that it can be something as simple as like one thing that really worked to help somebody, And of course, it's evolved and it's grown into something bigger, but it doesn't sound like something that has taken over your life and that you can't do anything else. This is a really simple business model that a lot of people could create with their own expertise that I think is really inspiring.
Yeah, and I think we are living in a time where anything is possible when it comes to a business.
Yeah.
I mean, you you can build an online business literally out of nothing.
Yeah.
And all I had to give is time. And that's what I had to, as a mom of two, especially a mom with a 6-month old, I was like, I don't have any time. And I resisted this. I mean, I didn't just say like, oh yay, I'm running a business now. Let me build my website. Let me do all this stuff. I was like, no, I don't have time. Maybe like when Hudson's a little older. I mean, I tried to talk myself out of this multiple times
Hmm.
because, you fall back as a busy, tired mom on that whole time thing.
Yeah.
And once I started focusing my time into something productive and I really, altered some habits and different things, it's amazing what you can make time for
Oh, yeah.
when important to you. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to like hit that girl upside the head and be like, are you crazy? You had so much time.
What were you worried about?
Yes. So what were you doing with that time?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing what you can make from something that you were given a gift.
Right.
And I have a gift that stresses a lot of moms out. And I have this belief, I've always said this, I really believe that every occasion, big or small, deserves to be celebrated.
Hmm.
And there's a way to do that for you that's very realistic, very simple. And it kind of just starts with acknowledging that there's something or someone that's being celebrated right now. And then, it's my job to kind of step in and say, okay, how does that work for you? What does that look like for you? Are you a buyer? Are you a DIYer? I mean,
Hmm.
that's kind of where I step in and kind of get to help you have that celebration that you want to have. And you just either don't have the time or you don't have the confidence or interest,
Hmm.
but you want to create that experience for your family. I'm
Yeah.
kind of the bridge to get you there.
I love it. And that doesn't even mean, so for my daughter's first birthday, had a lot of that pressure of like, I want it to be amazing and magical. She's my only little girl. She's turning 1. Honestly, she didn't care or know whether she was having a party or not, but I made it such a bigger to do, and I hired an actual person to come in my tiny apartment and transform this little space in the kitchen to this like magical party. And I think that's fantastic, but it's also like not something that I could have replicated over and over and over again. And it kind of, if she had said to me, listen, this is your space, this is, you're only going to have grandparents there, is this really the level that we need to go to, or is this a little bit more realistic for your personality type? Will you still feel really happy with the outcome if we simplify it and we just have these 3 elements instead of these 30 elements? So I kind of love that it's
Yes.
like really tailored to each individual person, because I'm the kind where if it overwhelms me, I just have to kind of be like, well, it's dumb. Like, I'm even talking holidays, certain holidays. I'm like, do I really have to do that? Because it's overwhelming
Mhm.
and because I need perspective and I need somebody to show me a simple way. And Pinterest is overwhelming. It is a giant
Gosh,
trove.
yes.
If people want to get seen, they want their most creative stuff on there, they want to get pinned. I get it.
Yes.
So I love that you kind of
Hmm.
created more of that simple space, because there is nothing more frustrating than opening something and being like, but where do I get this? It kind of reminds me
Yes.
of like years ago, I picked up a magazine and it had this beautiful Halloween party. And it was a magazine. They didn't have links, they didn't have places or even stores to buy the things. And I had to like go, and it took me weeks to plan this stupid party. And I think my husband
Yeah.
resented for years to come. We'd pull out some little element of that party decoration, and he's like, oh my gosh, remember the party you just had to create as a lookalike of that magazine article? So, anyway, I think it's fantastic. You're creating kind of like that more real world, applicable, everyday achievable for every level of mom out there with these
Yes.
events.
Yes. Well, and I am a busy mom.
Hmm.
I'm either with my kids or I'm working in my business or I'm cleaning my house or whatever. I'm not just sitting, let's just say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I am who I'm helping, and I understand the amount of things that are on a plate. And I never want somebody to open a party plan and think I just put another thing on their plate.
Hmm.
I want them to feel like something got taken off. And there's zero need to open Pinterest when you have a party plan, because everything that you need is in one space.
Yeah.
So all the ideas are there. It's fully outlined, all of the links to all decor and supplies. If you want a DIY decor, I always have both options because you never know. There's always a mom that likes a TV project at night.
Yeah.
And menu plans with all those cute names that no one has any time to think of, but you want to write something on the cute food card.
Right.
And then I have a dessert table tutorial in every single plan because that's the thing that people want, but they don't know how to do it themselves. And it's actually super easy when you break it down. Activities with all the supplies outlined. I mean, every single thing is right there. You can access it from your computer. You can access it from your phone. I mean, it's all in one place for you. And then they also come with a weekly checklist that really breaks down. And this is kind of where I think saves the most stress because you just look at where you are in the time leading up and you look at that chunk of tasks and you're like, okay, manageable, 3 things this week, done. I can do that. I can order the cake and I can order the outfit and I can, find some vases or whatever it is on your checklist.
Yeah.
But it's very manageable. It's not you open this 25-page document and you see all these beautiful things and you're like, well, now what the hell do I do? It's very strategically organized and, outlined for you to kind of get you there in the way. And they're all very much choose your own adventure. Like I said, you could be the DIY mom that just doesn't want to think of the things, but you like to do these things, or you could be the buyer and you just click all the things and add them to your cart and then they show up.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong. It's just how it works for you. And so your fancy Nancy party is going to look 10 times different than another mom's fancy Nancy party.
Right.
But the thing is, both of the moms had daughters that had the time of their life at that party, no matter what it looked like. And that's the end goal.
Yeah. I love that. It's really kind of like that purpose-driven component instead of just like, I think that's what it does is it drives it back to like, well, why are you wanting to do this party? What does your child actually really need? And then what makes you fulfilled as the mother and what connects all the dots together, right? It's not about like, if you have the best of the best of the best, then it's a successful party. It's like, what to you means successful? Like, what's going to be the best element for your child at their party? What's going to be the best element for you to feel like you contributed and that you did something? So it's kind of like marrying all of the egos together to like, okay, what's your priority? Impressing people, making your child happy, a little bit of both, So I kind of love that. You've taken that guesswork out of it and just made it like a lot more emotional, but also taking out the emotion.
Yes, I start, and I actually have a free download kind of with the 5 steps to start planning a party.
Awesome.
But one of them in that is, what are your must-haves? And I think through this at every party, and my must-haves are totally different than yours. My must-haves, because this is my business, as well as something I'm doing for my family, I have to have a photographer. But I did that even before I had a business.
Right.
I had somebody else taking pictures of my party. And, at that time it was a friend or a family member. Now it's a photographer. But at that time, I didn't want to host, enjoy the party, and also be responsible for taking all the pictures. So I, could show my kids what the party was like when they got older. So that's a must have for me, somebody else taking pictures, whatever that looks like. And a must have for me is outsourcing desserts, because baking is like the worst thing in the world to me. I hate it so much. And I had, like you said, with the first birthday party, my daughter's first birthday party, and this is coming from someone who loves parties, was a total and complete utter disaster. I was crying in the laundry room. I was so exhausted. I was crazy emotional, because you are when you have a baby turning 1, because they're kind of like not a baby anymore. So it's already, a lot of mind work that's happening in that milestone.
Right.
And I thought I had to do everything. I was a stay-at-home mom. I loved parties. So of course I had to do everything, which meant I DIY'd every stinking thing at that party. I baked every dang thing on the dessert table. I cooked everything. I literally did every single thing. And then I ended the party not in a happy mood. I have good memories, but I have a lot of bad memories from that party. And it's something I'll always kick myself about. But I thought, I'll never be able to do this again. Like, she's going to have another birthday party. And what if I have another kid? and I'm going to have to do this like 2 times a year. There's zero way I'll be able to do that. And so I figured out really unknowingly and well before I started my business, kind of a little system. And I started creating a checklist for myself. And I started being okay with outsourcing some things and understanding that I doesn't make me a bad mom because I didn't bake my dang kid's birthday cake. Um, because it gives me no joy whatsoever, and I play to my strengths, and I'm great at the decor. And so that's a strength for me. Baking is not, so I need to, let that go. So I talk a lot about what are your must-haves and what are your be like Elsa's and let it go moments. Because there's some things you need to let go. You need to let go of the stress of having a party at home because you don't think your house looks good enough. Or you need to let go of what it looks like if I have a party at a party place, and can I still have a fancy Nancy party at a party place? Yes, you don't have to have pictures of pizza on the wall. You can have some personality in your party, whatever that looks like. So there's a lot of I don't know. I think there's a big stigma that people have to get over when it comes to party planning. Like, these things are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And we're making it not fun because we're thinking in terms of Pinterest and Instagram. And that needs to stop. And we need to put the focus back on celebrating our families, using this as a moment to connect with our loved ones, to catch up with family members, and to really just enjoy this milestone in your family's story. That's really at the heart of what we're doing here. And that's the gift I'm trying to give to moms.
I love it so much. And well, I'll finish out by saying this. I'm really happy that you did that because it is a great gift that you can give to other women who, I mean, there's so many stressors in our lives and some of them are so unnecessary. And so if we can solve even just one of those, which you have, I'm so grateful to you for doing that and being willing to kind of come out of your comfort zone to make something that everybody can benefit from. And I hope people who listen to this podcast really see that underlying theme of when you can solve a problem for yourself, all that it takes to change that from just a thing you did to a business is finding a way to help other people to do the same thing. So it's really quite incredible. And I'm on your site now and it is beautiful. And I want everybody to go get the free download. We will link to everything in the show notes. You guys can go to AllisonCarterCelebrates.com or you can just head to Marvelous Moms Club and check out the show notes. We'll link you guys to all the fun things. I have one final question for you that everybody gets asked here on this podcast. What makes you a marvelous mom?
I can be a marvelous mom most of the time. I am able to create little moments for my family. I have a brain and I've worked this muscle that I can find a little moment in time or something that we're doing just in the everyday. And I'm able to think of a way to turn the volume up just a little bit to make it a little bit more magical, a little bit more special when I feel like my family needs a little boost.
Yeah.
Like when we're feeling like we're a little bit in that rut, we can be in a marriage rut, we can be in a parenting rut. And there's one little thing that I can dial up and insert into our day to kind of shake it up. I have a talent where I'm able to see things in that way. And that's sort of what I help moms do with my podcast, Memories and Moments. Also, it's really all about those little tiny moments that we can turn up the volume. And I'm able to gift those to other moms so they can feel like marvelous mamas also.
I love it so much. Paying it forward, right? That's the whole community we're trying to create, is bringing all our magical skills together. Yep.
I love it. I love doing this. I love talking to the moms and just chatting about parties and Bravo or whatever you want to chat with. I would love to hear from you. So
Yeah.
definitely hit me up and we can chat about parties and find a party plan that works for you and your kiddos.
I love it. Thank you so much for coming on here. Thank you for the brilliance of the business you've created and for being a guest here on the show, because I know there's at least a couple hundred mamas who are listening to this who are like, thank you. Thank you. You're wonderful.
Well, I hope so. I'm happy to help. And thank you so much for inviting me on. This was great.
Awesome. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. Again, go check out the show notes to see what she has for you. And we will see y'all on the next episode. Have a marvelous day. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you want to take action right now, you're feeling inspired and you're feeling enlightened, and you really want to own this role as a marvelous mom, go to the website marvelousmomsclub.com/me and create your own personal Marvelous Moms Manifesto. That is a tongue twister. marvelousmomsclub.com/me. You go fill in some great information, and in the end, you'll have a beautiful manifesto to display where only you can see or the whole family can see, where you can really, really own your role as a marvelous mom and step inside those goals and those ambitions and dreams that you have to become an even more marvelous mom to your beautiful family. So again, marvelousmomsclub.com/me. We will see you over there.